Coming up next on We Are Marshall Today, another academic year is underway at Marshall University. A look at the first week of school.
Plus, they aren't college students, but their parents are. We'll take you to the Child Development Academy at Marshall University. These stories and more up next on We Are Marshall Today. Welcome to We Are Marshall Today. I'm Leah Edwards.
And I'm Bill Bissett. Summer is over for thousands of college students, and that means a beginning of another academic year.
It's an exciting time, Bill, particularly for freshmen. More in this report from Adam Cavalier.
Marshall University welcomed more than 1,900 freshmen the weekend of August 22nd. From moving into residence halls to the annual President's Convocation, the university's focus is on ensuring student success. It's a message that longtime Marshall University administrator Maurice Cooley says he emphasizes to his students.
That of all the days in their lives, there are some important days, your birthdays and your parents' birthdays and Christmas, but if we were to line them up, and probably in the top 10 days of a person's life is the day that they start college, because it really starts a new era, a new period of growing up.
Achieving academic success is only part of the equation, says senior Joseph Smiley. The Gallipolis, Ohio chemistry major encourages freshmen to cultivate a balanced life.
I would just say make some friends while it's crowded. There's lots of people to make friends with. It's always helpful to study and stuff, and just keep on track. With everything. A lot of people. Freshmen, they get here and they get all this freedom and stuff, and they don't pay attention to what they're really here for. I mean, it's always nice to absorb the student life, but to really focus on what you're here for.
Sophomore Rich Mullins and freshman Chase Lance both agree the start of the academic year is an exciting one.
Man, I'm excited because I get to see all my friends I haven't seen all summer. It's real exciting. Another thing is, it's new people, meeting new people, coming back to campus, people from out of town, it's getting back into class, I guess, isn't the best thing, but, there's always a positive thing, and like I said, it's just meeting the new people and football games, I'm excited. I love the fall.
Looking forward to maybe joining some clubs or something, and look forward to attending the football games, basketball games. I'm a big basketball fan, so. But other than that, not much. Not really looking that forward to class, but I mean, you gotta go, so.
Lance and his fellow Marshall University students will have nearly 16 weeks of education before the fall term ends December 15th. For We Are Marshall Today, I'm Adam Cavalier.
Joining us now is the Dean of Student Affairs at Marshall University, Dean Steve Hensley. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for inviting me, Bill.
I know we've got a lot going on. We're in the, shall we say, initial beginning, two words that go well together, of the fall semester. What does this mean with a welcome weekend? Obviously, it's a great way to kick things off.
It is.
Why is it important that we have that sort of that flashpoint where everything starts?
Well, welcome weekend we do almost exclusively for social reasons on the surface, but there's an inherent important layer beneath that. First, when students come, I think they're a little uncertain and a little intimidated by the physical environment, by their new residence hall room, by their roommate, by finding their way around. Even though the campus seems small to us, it seems a little perplexing to new students. So the purpose of Welcome Weekend is to eliminate that sort of uncertainty and anxiety that gets in students' way. Also to help students meet each other. I mean, they're going to meet their roommate who may or may not be a friend from home. It might be a random assignment. But we want to structure ways for students to get to meet other new students. A corollary to that is a way to try to get commuter students to come to the campus and enjoy some activities, meet some other new students, and also become a part of the campus.
Outstanding. I know with a large percentage, I think up to 48% being first generation incoming students, there may not be that sort of, well, here's what I did when I went to college.
I think they hear some from their friends who are a year older, but sometimes some students don't have a lot of friends who are a year older. Many of their friends are in their same age group and the same grade in school, and they don't have a lot of guidance from their parents, so they come here with the fear in mind that I see from new students all the time, and that is the fear of looking inappropriate, of being foolish.
Sure.
I'll give you an example.
Please.
I see students that are a little afraid to walk down the hallway in Smith Hall and go in the wrong room. And sometimes it's difficult to tell which room is which. The The door numbers are on the back of the door, and the door's open, and you can't see what door. So freshmen are a little uncomfortable, afraid they're going to walk in the wrong class. They don't realize the faculty go up and down the hallway, and they don't know which room to go in. But they're not afraid of
Seniors and graduate students sometimes.
Exactly. So, but freshmen somehow feel like they are a little intimidated about looking foolish. So we wanted to get them here and get a sense of normalcy among the students, at least to begin that.
Smart.
And then important, our convocation is important. And that is the end event in Welcome Weekend, and we believe the first event in the academic year.
Where you see everyone walking down.
Everybody walks down 4th Avenue. It's really
Solid.
impressive.
Outstanding. Yeah. Well, obviously that deals a lot with recruitment, bringing people to, especially this freshman population that obviously, I guess in many ways would be the most at risk for dropping out.
They are. They are.
We've seen a spike in enrollment, which is which is very, very good news for us. I think 11% freshmen, about 3.8 overall. Now that we have them here, what do we do at Marshall to keep them here? Does that make you see what I'm saying? What are we doing to make sure that they finally walk across that stage and get that diploma?
A couple of things get in the way of students initially. One is the simple adjustment of being away from home and being independent. So we try to help our students in the residence halls make that a home-like environment from the very beginning. We have a floor meeting the first night students are here. We go over some rules, but we also help students get to meet each other and get to know the support services and systems that are out there. That's really important. Academically, all of our freshmen are in a freshman seminar where they can speak with other new students and with a faculty member that they know by their first name.
Really?
And that faculty member's job is to guide them through the initial adjustment period to Marshall. Most students, this is proven with study after study, most students who withdraw from college do so in the first 3 weeks.
Really?
It's that initial period of time when students don't sense they have a good fit that most students tend to get discouraged and leave. All students get discouraged.
Right.
The issue that we try to transmit to our students is, what do you do with that sense of discouragement, and do you have enough support out there to get through it?
Just because you reach an obstacle, you don't want to stop.
Right.
Outstanding. Well, I know one of the ways that we help students feel that they belong is by getting them engaged in community activities. And a great example of that, I think it coincides with the Virginia Tech away game, is the Day of Service. Tell us a little bit about Day of Service and what we hope to accomplish with it.
Well, I tell students all the time, Bill, that we have it pretty nice. We have our students that live on our residence halls with us have a very nice environment. They have good food and a comfortable place to live. And compared with the fate of a lot of our residents in Cabell County, they have it pretty darn nice. And I think that they have an obligation to give something back. Another thing we've found over the years, when students engage in service to their community, whether they go at a homeless shelter, a domestic violence shelter, painting, working on the campus, they remember it. It has an impact. It makes you feel good about yourself and about
Physically
your contribution.
doing something, obviously.
The act of getting together and physically going to do something to help other people. It's very powerful. And also, I think it builds an awareness on the part of students that they do need to give back throughout their lives. And if they haven't done it in the past, this is a good place to start.
Excellent.
We'll do some of the projects will be campus, cleaning or working on the campus to improve it, but some will be out in the community also.
Outstanding. Well, I know we've talked a little bit about the traditions that exist around Marshall, especially for incoming students, but we do always have new challenges that come about, and I think one of them being H1N1, and I know you've been very engaged in many ways as that person that directly has interaction with students. What's the university doing? What's our response been? I know it's been something that we continue to get more and more information about this subject.
Well, the information that we have looks like it's changing every day, but what we are doing are trying to inform students of the importance of taking care of themselves, of simple things like washing their hands and maintaining a clean environment, cough and sneeze etiquette, how to protect yourself from a viral infection for which right now there's not a vaccine. We're waiting eagerly on the vaccine. But until then, we're just having students practice good health measures to protect themselves against a viral infection. Now, if somebody gets sick, and we are not naive in the fact that our students are at risk of getting the flu. If that happens, then we have a whole set of processes that we've tried to create and plan for. And I guess realistically, Bill, the more serious and the more widespread the infection, the more reaction we will have.
Of course.
We've been a little bit optimistic because we have seen the H1N1 virus be moderate to mild in many, many people. So we are not expecting it to have to take extraordinary measures, but if that happens, we will.
Excellent. Well, Dean Hensley, I know we appreciate everything you do for Marshall, and you're always fun to work with, so we appreciate you taking the time to come to the taping.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll be right back with more We Are Marshall Today.
From the classroom straight to your computer.
I teach international marketing online 100%. I conduct this class from my office, from my home, and it is 24/7 available to students across the country. I would say this has been one of the most challenging and rewarding experiences, not only for me, for my students as well.
Nationally accredited, affordable, convenient. MU Online.
You could call it democracy in action on the Huntington campus of Marshall University late last month. Nearly 200 people attended a town hall meeting sponsored by West Virginia Congressman Nick Rahall, who hoped to hear from residents about proposed health care reform.
They have been productive meetings. There has been disagreement, yes, but again, that disagreement is about what our American system of democracy is all about. I've heard from numerous individuals in these town hall meetings, in my 4 district offices, in my daily contacts on the streets, and emails, phone calls, and various other methods of communication.
40 people offered suggestions to the congressman during the 3.5-hour meeting.
Marshall University's engineering program received a boost from the Higher Education Policy Commission last month. The HEPC approved $25 million in funding toward planning and construction of the Applied Engineering Complex. Betsy Doolin is Dean of the College of Information Technology and Engineering. She says the new facilities will help foster additional growth.
We're spread out now in 4 different buildings, I think, on campus, so everyone's anxious to come together. It provides them a chance to collaborate, to interact with one another, for the students in our engineering, computer science, and safety technology programs to actually get together more often, because they're spread out on campus just as the faculty are. And those all provide opportunities to grow in all sorts of ways. Students, faculty, programs that we might pursue, and research opportunities as well.
Marshall President Dr. Stephen J. Kopp unveiled drawings of the new complex in mid-August. The facility will be located on the north side of 3rd Avenue, across from the Morrow Library. In addition to plans for a new facility, Marshall's College of Information Technology and Engineering is offering a new scholarship thanks to Massey Energy. The Massey Energy Scholarship for Engineering was announced in July. The first award is planned for this academic year. Scholarship recipients must be West Virginia residents who are full-time engineering sophomores.
On Fridays this fall, remember to grab your green from the closet, Marshall green that is. College Colors Day starts in September, and all Marshall University fans are encouraged to wear Marshall green on Fridays. The campaign is part of a national one organized by the Collegiate Licensing Company. Marshall University is also sponsoring a Green Fridays contest during football season for area businesses. There's more information available on our website.
Hundreds of Marshall fans gathered in Charleston in August for the annual Paint the Capital City Green Rally. The event, which is the nation's largest indoor pep rally for the university, was a sellout again this year. Marshall fans heard from Governor Joe Manchin, University President Stephen Kopp, and new athletic director Mike Hamrick. The event proceeds benefit the Big Green Scholarship Foundation and the Marshall University Alumni Association. This first show of the academic year obviously has a back-to-school theme. Our faculty, students, and staff are all well into the new semester.
But there's another group of students back to school also. Dozens of children attend the Child Development Academy at Marshall University while their parents are in class. Located a couple of blocks from Marshall University's Huntington campus is a brightly colored and well-secured facility where children are learning. The center's mission is to provide high-quality child care and education to the families of the Marshall University community. There's a priority for children of Marshall University students. Director Susan Miller says the goals are the same today as they were 20 years ago, although the methods are always changing.
We try to keep up with the latest research. We have help from the early education professors at the College of Education, Dr. Dozier, Dr. Graham, Dr. Boswell, Dr. Angel, all help us to know what the latest trends are, what best practice is. We're part of the National Association for the Education of Young Children. We're nationally accredited, and so we stay abreast of all the criteria that make a quality center.
The center also provides an educational environment for Marshall University students. Education majors like Christina Vlasic are involved 24/7.
Some people call me a glorified babysitter, but it's not really a daycare. It really is like a development academy. We help the children progress developmentally. We teach them, I mean, all of my kids can tell you the front, the back, the spine, what the author is, who the illustrator is, what the plot, what the setting of a book. And these are 2-, 3-year-old kids. Lead teacher Amanda Messer is one of the center's most vocal supporters. A teacher at the center, a Marshall University student, and a parent, she is committed to the academy's mission.
I've had 2 children here, and I think it's a wonderful place. When my oldest son went to kindergarten, the teacher said, "How did you get him so ready for kindergarten and for a public school?" But I know that it was just because of the quality education that he had here, the experiences that he was able to have.
The Child Development Academy serves children ages 6 to 5 years, although there is a waiting list for acceptance. If you'd like more information, contact the center at 304-696-5803. Joining us now to talk more about early education is Marshall University Professor of Education, Dr. Janet Dozier. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
We just saw a story about the Child Development Academy here at Marshall University. What a fantastic facility. Tell us a little bit more about the facility and how the College of Education and Human Services is connected to that center.
Well, the College of Education and Human Services actually directs the academy. Dr. Templeton is the supervisor of that facility.
Dr. Rosalind Templeton, the dean.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and as such, we have the ability to place students there, our big kids, there to work with the children. And so it's a wonderful opportunity. I take my CI 321 students over there every semester to give them that experience of really working with real children.
What's CI 321? Translate that.
Early childhood curriculum and methods.
We also have another facility on campus that's located in Corbley Hall.
Yes.
And you actually are the faculty advisor for that.
That's correct.
That center. Tell me what the name of it is and what goes on over there.
It's the Marshall University Early Education Center, and it is a facility for 3- and 4-year-olds. It is a lab school setting in which we do research. Our primary reason for existing is that we needed a facility where we could do some experimental education and research it and see if it was working. So we do some of that. Our children are from the community, and we are a West Virginia pre-K.
So West Virginia pre-K. I'm going to ask you to translate that again for me.
Sorry. That means that we are part of the West Virginia Universal Pre-Kindergarten Program. We contract with Cabell County, and they help to defray some of our costs, and we take the community children. Some of which are there through LINK and other subsidized funding.
So when people see children on tricycles and playing in the small playground out in back of Corbley, that's what that facility is.
That's correct.
Okay.
Right now I have 5 practicum students there, one of whom is a graduate. We have 2 graduate assistants, 2 work studies, and a lead teacher. So they get lots of individual attention.
So we have 2 different facilities. We have the Child Development Academy that's located a couple of blocks from campus.
22nd Street and 6th Avenue.
Okay, and it serves approximately 90 children,
Yes,
I believe.
I think that's correct. And that facility is more of it's a child care center. They're there from morning until evening, and it's open to the public. You get preference if you are a student or a faculty member, a student first and then faculty member, and then it's open to the public, the general public, and it's a wonderful facility. Our teachers are degreed. They are anxiously trying to stay current, and many of them are students as well.
Well, I have to tell you that when we went over there to do this story, I was a little surprised and amazed that there was so much excitement generated by the Marshall University students working there.
Yes.
They seemed to really enjoy what they were doing.
Well, I think it's a good place to work, one, and two, it's also exciting to look at children and to work with real children. It takes what they're learning in the classroom and makes it practical.
Tell me about preschool education and early childhood education. 20, 30 years ago, you would maybe go to nursery school, but now it seems that almost every child attends some type of preschool.
That's correct. In fact, our state of West Virginia has mandated by 2012 that every 4-year-old be given the opportunity to enroll in a pre-kindergarten program.
And that is by 2012?
Yes.
And given the opportunity to enroll.
That means that it's not mandatory that they enroll, but they should be given that opportunity to do so. So they have universal access. No child, given the fact that they're 4, would be ever turned away from a universal pre-K, a West Virginia pre-kindergarten program.
How does that line up with other states in the United States?
Well, we in West Virginia, we are number 5 in the nation. Usually we go to conferences and, you know, your West Virginia's 49th or 50th, but we are number 5 in the nation for early childhood education, and I think that's amazing. We're a small state, but we have made a huge commitment to early childhood education, seeing that it's one of those things that helps to break the cycle of poverty.
And how is that? Explain that connection for me.
Well, we used to say that everything that you learned in kindergarten. Now it's in preschool. So those things that are fundamental, the social emotional development, is the focus of pre-kindergarten. There is a cognitive component, but the focus is more on the social and emotional.
One question that I actually did not send you before we sat down here, but is there, what do you think the lowest age would be that you would have a child be in that type of environment
Community
for learning?
setting?
Yes.
We take children at the academy at 6 weeks. So there is a growing demand for infant and toddler programming.
Now, as I said, your students, Marshall University College of Education students, were very excited when we saw them working at the Development Academy. Tell me about those students and what type of hands-on training they get when they're going through our 4-year program.
Well, when they go through the 4-year program, if they're in the birth to pre-K, they get 3 experiences that are similar to student teaching, and they get a myriad of other field experiences. But these 3 are the major experiences, and they spend 150 hours in each of the classrooms. 1 in infant and toddler, 1 in pre-K, and 1 in special needs. So it is an inclusive program. All of our pre-K programs are inclusive, meaning that all children are what we used to call mainstreamed. And so whatever the disability or ability of the child, they're in the regular classroom.
Okay. Well, building on that last question, tell me about the future for pre-K teachers.
Oh, it is very bright. There are more than 200 new jobs available in the state of West Virginia alone. Ohio is looking is putting in pre-K as well, so I would say that those jobs will be opening. Kentucky is making an effort at this time, so we're seeing many opportunities for our students in the tri-state area to hone their skills, to be employed. And I think that's one of our major funding issues in the state, is that many times our students graduate and then there are no jobs. That's not true in early ed. Right. There are jobs.
So there we go, a plug for pre-K teachers.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
And before we go to the break today, let's meet another member of the Marshall University alumni family. Ryan Hara graduated from Marshall in 2001 with a bachelor's degree in business. He's employed as an inspector with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Ryan currently lives in Hurricane, West Virginia with his wife Jessica, who is also a Marshall alum. Ryan Hara, another Marshall University graduate, spreading the word about the herd.
Yeah, we had a pretty good rehearsal today. We blocked Act 2, and no, we're gonna block Act 3 next week, I think. Are you okay? What's going on?
I can't find the glasses I need.
Haven't you tried MU Online? You can take your classes anywhere, anytime. All you need is a computer.
Really?
Yeah, look it up.
I've been looking for this class all week, and now, since it's online, I can take it whenever I want.
Nationally accredited, affordable, convenient. MU Online.
My name's Brandon. I'm 9 years old, being alcoholic.
Hi, Brandon. Kids who drink before age 15 are 5 times more likely to have alcohol problems when they're adults. So start talking before they start drinking.
Marshall University's football season well underway now, and herd fans are hoping for a winning season.
And as any Marshall fan can tell you, there's a number of football greats who have played for the herd. An update on a couple of those in this report from Clark Davis.
The success of the Marshall University football team depends on the achievements of the student athletes that participate in the program. 3 former Herd football players have flourished in their NFL careers, and although the paths they took were very different, the goal was the same. Doug Legursky, a former starting center for Marshall University, wasn't drafted out of college. In fact, he was cut twice by the Pittsburgh Steelers before securing a roster spot on the defending world champions.
It's been a crazy experience. Coming here right out of college and getting cut and brought back a couple times, but it worked out for the best. I'm trying to make the best out of this opportunity.
Chris Crocker, a former safety on the Thundering Herd, now at the Cincinnati Bengals, has been with 3 other NFL clubs. Now he seems to have found a home as their starting safety.
I've been on, this is my 4th team, and there's been some bumps in the road, but for the most part, I think I've been a very productive player, and this year could be very special for me because I think we have a great team. We have a defense that can be very, very good, as good as we want to be, and I hope that I can get to the playoffs the first time in my career this year, and that's one of my biggest goals.
Finally, Chris Massey. Like Doug Legursky, Massey is a Mountain State native, but unlike the others, Chris had to walk on at Marshall before playing 8 years in the NFL as the St. Louis Rams long snapper on special teams.
I walked on at Marshall in '97, and I ended up long snapping in '98, and just been around a great winning atmosphere at Marshall, and great coaches that's helped me. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here today.
While the names Moss, Pennington, and Leftwich still echo in the halls of Marshall athletics, Legursky, Crocker, and Massey's names can now be heard as well. For We Are Marshall Today, I'm Clark Davis.
And that's it for this edition of We Are Marshall Today. I'm Bill Bissett.
And I'm Leah Edwards. Don't forget to wear your green.